So, I'm excited today to talk about Cami Mendlich's book, Painting Color Relativity, because what it does for both the amateur artist and the professional artist is creates a unique approach to the end product through process, not through formulas. So the traditional approach to color has been to make formulas, and you can buy books of all of these formulas, but Cami has set that aside in favor of an approach that simplifies the process but keeps all of the nuance of the outcome. So the process of relativity looks at color in relationship to the envelope of light that envelops the subject, and creating a consistency within that envelope, not little color patches, but a consistency of color through thinking about lighter, darker, warmer, cooler. And that's really the genius of the book, both for the painter and for the teacher of painting, that you have an approach that is simple, and yet, again, the outcome is very nuanced, very delicate in what ends up on the canvas. And I think that's what's incredibly exciting about this book. Another aspect of it is that it gives the painter metaphorically a doorway to enter, so that you always can approach the subject in the same way. And color can be absolutely overwhelming, but by having a similarity of approach that distances the painter and sets them back a little bit from the subject, gives them some objectivity. That's what's so great about this book, that you have objectivity in the way that you can approach the color. And this is from a master painter, internationally, nationally known master painter, who's won all kinds of impressionistic awards. Impressionism, that's the wrong way. Who's won all kinds of awards for her painting. So one of the amazing things about Cami is that this is an internationally known artist who's taken the time to work on and perfect her teaching, and who's been written up in many international journals. I think Cami's approach to teaching color is unique in that she concentrates on the strategy to paint the color rather than a formula for the outcome.
Good.
Studying with Cami has allowed me to see color for what it is, not what I think it is. And let me tell the story of when I first started. Cami said, "Stop looking at the sky as blue." So I came on and told my wife that the sky wasn't really blue, that it had all of these other colors in it. And she said, that's just not true. And I said, but that is what's true about it. The sky is not blue. And by having an approach to this, it has allowed me to see the true colors for what they are, not what I think they are. Color in painting has allowed me to, both in plein air and in studio painting, view each moment for what is actually there, not with some formula, to look at the color and say, it's just blue. But to say, what is this sky at this moment with this envelope of light? And to have a strategy to approach that.
Or something. So this strategy.
Well, this strategy has taken away the fear of being wrong, and has given me a way to approach the painting, and it's actually made it much more fun. The strategy allows me to think, I don't have to be right. I just have to try to paint my truth in this moment. And it's very freeing and it's very fun.
Is it unusual to have someone that's a master painter that is also a master teacher?
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, the craft of teaching is not the same as the craft of painting. So having a master painter take the time and listen to her students, to guide them in ways that maybe are not evident, but to guide the students in the way that helps that student become themselves. That's the master teacher. And that's what Cami has been able to do by paying attention to the students.
Do you think that the master painter and an instructor?
I think Cami is unique in the painting world because she's a master painter who's taken the time to figure out how to be a master teacher. And that master teaching involves listening to the students and guiding them, not approaching it with the answers from above. So Cami's unique in the art world, and that she takes time to listen to her students. And rather than painting from a formula or painting from what works for her as a master painter, she guides the students into what works for them. The truth of their own painting interpretation, their own color, their own style involved in the painting. Cami is unique in the painting world because she's both a master teacher and a master instructor. She knows how to create masterful art, but that doesn't always translate into being a master teacher. And what's really interesting is her ability to listen to her students and guide them by that quality of listening. I love them. Cami's unique in that collectors around the country eagerly seek her works. She has paintings in museums. She has been interviewed for many articles in national publications. Okay. Cami is unique in that she is collected by major collectors across the country. She's taught internationally. She's had articles about her painting appear in national publications. And she has spent time taking all of that to teaching all around the country and teaching internationally. When I started taking lessons from Cami, which was the first teacher I'd had in art, she said, "Don't look at the sky as blue." And I said to myself, of course the sky is blue. And she said, but spend time seeing all of the colors in the sky. And I came home and said to my wife that the sky is not blue. It's all of these different colors. And it's that strategy for seeing color that is a hallmark of her teaching, but it's easy to absorb as a student. You want to get better by seeing the colors as they are, not as you think they should be.
Strategy.
When I first started painting, I was worried about being right. And by thinking about the strategy of painting, I've moved to not right, but my view of painting, my vision of what I'm seeing either plein air or in the studio. And it's changed from being anxious about painting to simply having fun with the painting.
Have you become?
Painting with this strategy in mind also moves it from the canvas to the painting palette. And looking at the colors that you can create by constantly thinking of this process makes both ends of the painting fun. What's on the palette, what's on the painting, and takes away again the anxiety of trying to be right and just enjoying the process.
Great. For mixing color.
My confidence as a painter has increased enormously since learning the strategy that Cami teaches. And rather than being anxious about the process or the product, just simply enjoying the process, and the product takes care of itself. And for an amateur painter, that's a pretty amazing result. And
Painting color relativity.
Cami's book, Painting Color Relativity, is, in my viewpoint, of enormous benefit for the amateur artist, which is what I am, because it gives a strategy for approaching color. And that is, in many ways, the most difficult thing about painting. And it changes the outcome from the product to the process. The process of painting is what becomes the most interesting thing about the painting.
Okay, I think that was good. I would do it one more time because you went back like this. It was better the second time. It was cleaner and
Yeah.
crisper.
Cami's book is written for painters of any level because she gives a process to enter into the painting rather than worrying about the product. And for myself, that freed me up to think about color as a process. The process of looking, the process of seeing what's actually there, and then enjoying the painting.
Good. I like that one.
Yep,
And teaching.
unusual combination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's unusual about this book and the artist is that she's not only a master painter, but she had the persistence to take her ideas and work over a number of years to put them in a book, to share them with all levels of painters. And that in itself is amazing.
That's good. I'm wondering, I love that what you said.
Yeah, me too.
It'll be okay.
Painting Color Relativity is a book that combines the ideals of a master artist herself with a master teacher. And the attention to detail in the hundreds of paintings within the book to demonstrate her ideas allows the reader and the painter,
Well, the first part, okay.
any level of painter can take this book and grow. And they can grow by looking at the approach, the process, rather than just the outcome. And it's the process of painting that we so often get hung up on. And this book, by the attention to detail, allows the painter to work through that process and have reference guides in the hundreds of paintings within the book to improve their own painting. It's not quite it.
Did we say anything? I'm losing my.
Countless hours, yeah. This book took over 10 years of blood, sweat, and tears to produce. Countless hours of painting the illustrations and working tirelessly to make the content available to all levels of artists.
And just say that again, and to make the content available to all levels of artists, because I'll do a jump cut and cover it.
Okay. To make the content available to all levels of artists.
Good. I like that.
Say it one more time because
Cami's book is an original approach to creating the illusion of light with color.
I like that better than painting.
Yeah.
yeah, that was good, very good.
Cammie has become a good friend, both through music from her daughter and me teaching her daughter viola, and starting off on the journey of painting for me. I mean, I have always loved painting, but I didn't know I could do it. And so the friendship with Cammie has grown because she's helped me realize that I could become an artist. And I had no idea when I was beginning that I actually could paint. In fact, I don't even know if you remember, Cammie. In fact, when I first showed up for the first painting, I had acrylic paints, and I had no idea there was a difference between acrylic and oil. It was embarrassing, but it was a place to start, and you didn't make me feel dumb for starting where I was.
Good.
So I wonder if we can tie in your music and painting.
St. Croix.
St. Croix River School of Painting.
St. Croix, okay. In 2008, Cammie had the vision to start the St. Croix River School of Painting, incorporating her love of the St. Croix Valley and her commitment to finding a way to teach students to paint. And yeah,
Good, I like that.
yeah. Now what Cammie's been teaching for over 2 decades to her students is available to painters of all levels in her book. Go buy it.
Wow, that's
Right?
great.
That was good.
Oh, I have one other.
Journey.
Well, it's not that. I think the reason I keep coming back to lessons with Cammie are 2. One is her knowledge, but 2 is just her simple human kindness. She's a kind person, and that makes all the difference for a student, particularly a student who didn't know they could paint. I had no idea I could paint, and it was just something to try, and it's that immense kindness as a human being that has made studying with Cammie such a joy.
Not a bad endorsement.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's, you know, I mean, it's, one can find competence all over the place, but one can't always find competence in kindness. And I think that's what it is for me. Competence and kindness.
Brad,
Love it.
what-
Yeah, red. Make sure it's red, okay. All right, so I think we're good now, so let's coach.
So you were talking, you mentioned what I don't remember what you said about what's special about my teaching.
Yeah. What's special about Cammie's teaching is that she pays attention to the student, not just the subject matter. So she is rooted in the idea that you listen to the students and help them create their own pathway to the truth of painting.
Okay,
You shouldn't have said K, but we'll see.
sorry.
It was good, we can work with it, but just, you
Be
need to
quiet.
pause too.
I'll be
yeah,
quiet.
Yeah, wait 2 seconds before you react to anything he says.
It's impossible for me.
Yeah. Okay. What do you wanna do next?
I still want to recap on what is unique about Cammie being a master painter and
Cut
An
that off,
instructor.
it turned off for some reason.